we're going to continue to reason about the law. You know? The law of man and the law of God. This is a very difficult law to understand, but those with a pure heart will be able to understand. I call it the law of attachment. You know what I mean? When I say the laws of attachment now, let us look at the animal kingdom, and we will notice that animals too have offsprings. You know what I mean? And when their offsprings are young, they will do everything to protect their offspring. You know what I mean? Foraging for food, doing everything and making sure. Say for instance a bird. The bird will look after its chick and everything. But when the day come now, and the chick has grown and acquired its wing, its mom and dad no longer have an attachment. It allows the chick to fly freely within the bird family. But the human family now is not like this. When they have offsprings, they imagine that this offspring is their own. You understand? They think that my daughter, my son, that's my daughter, and that's my son. Because, you know, I give birth to them, so I own them. So in most cases you find that your parents try to mold you in what they think would be the best thing for you, be it a doctor, you know, or whatever. But what the 9th grade soldier is telling human beings is that souls are not your property. You understand what I mean? You cannot own a soul. In fact, in the 9th level, when you reach the 9th level, you'll be able to see that who you actually think is your son is actually your brother. You know what I mean? So I don't know how you want to own your brother. You know what I mean? So you find out that to reach the 9th grade, people will not let go of their attachment. And attachment run into a lot of things, to even down to minor things like being attached to your television or being attached, you know what I mean, to your religion, you know what I mean, or attached to your spiritual guide. You know what I mean? Because some people have spiritual guide, and but what I'm trying to tell people, forget about spiritual guide and, you know, being attached to your kids. They're not your kids. That's why when, for instance, then, because human beings have not studied the master death carefully, because truthfully death have no sentiments. You know what I mean? It's not as if they come for a baby, they're going to think, oh, it's just a baby. You know what I mean? That is kind of cynical, you know? It doesn't care. Well, if he arrive for you and you are in the womb, well, so be it. It just take you from the womb. And if your mother have to come along with you, you know? So, that's how death work. You know what I mean? It is not a sentimental thing. So imagine then that in your care, then you have what you call children. And you think that these children are yours. So for whatever reason the mighty death has passed through. You know, and remove 1 or 2 children of yours. Now, because you have it firmly fixed in your mind or your psyche that these children was yours now, this can throw you into great lamentation about your great loss, and you are grieving about how you lost, and you don't even want to have any faith in God now, because as God has taken away what belongs to you. You know what I mean? Because it wasn't God who created the being, obviously. It was you. So you now end up grieving. And when a ninth grade soldier really examine the matter now, here it is now. Like I say, human beings they act stupid. They act dumber than animal, even though they have the intelligence to act more. You know, they are afraid of death, they cannot die. Afraid of old age, they cannot get old. So here you are now then. The mighty death himself has decided to remove one from this dimension to the next. Nothing wrong with that, you know, that's just a movement in life. And here you have somebody now living on this side, grieving their eyes out. Maybe they live their whole life and never recover, as gone to them with grief. Just because somebody has leave one place to go to the next place. And they too will be going very shortly, going to this place as well. You know what I mean? But before they spend the time now preparing to join them in that place where they have gone, they waste all the time here now wallowing in grief, you know, drinking only lots of alcohol and, you know, lamenting, cursing God and the universe and next door neighbor and all that. All that is pitiful and idiotic. You know what I mean? Come to your senses, human beings. You know what I mean? Nothing here don't belongs to you. You don't own any kids. You know what I mean? Stop taking, people are not your property. I know you own them, like, but you shouldn't be doing such things. You know what I mean? You know, how can a human being be yours? Not yours, you know what I mean? Now, don't take that too harshly, you know. I'm not saying you shouldn't love your loved ones. And when the mighty death has passed through and removed them from out of this dimension, that you shouldn't feel a little bit grieved, you know. You miss them, innit? It's as if your mother went to live in Australia. Of course you're going to miss her. So when anyone has leave her to go into the next dimension, I am not saying that you shouldn't miss them, you know what I mean? But that's all you should be doing. Not spending your time all your life lamenting and we'll discuss the bogeyman of the human soul. When I say the bogeyman, you know, it's like when we was kids in Jamaica, they used to use something to frighten us called the Black Heart Man. But the Black Heart Man was really a Rasta man. You understand? But the Rasta man wasn't a frightening man, really. It's just what they taught us. So, for the human soul as well, they have a bogeyman. And this bogeyman is Satan. You understand? Now, does Satan exist? Does the devil exist? I would say, yeah, the devil exists, in as much as negative exists. There is no way that you can say positive exists and negativity doesn't exist. So, because those are the two forces within the universe, positive and negative. Now we find that, well, the animals can speak, or the trees, you know, but it don't seem as if this devil or Satan, whoever they call this guy, really bothers them much, the animal kingdom. They don't have a problem with this Satan. And I have never seen him running around on the planet either. You know what I mean? But anyway, we humans seems to have a great problem with Satan. Because Satan has been blamed for all the evil that's gone on the planet. Because a man typically either blame the devil for his problem, women, or money. You know what I mean? But, because this is the thing with a lot of teachers. They usually know a lot about God, but they don't know the master, the devil himself. You know what I mean? Which is not a very, I wouldn't say it was a wise thing not to know who the devil is, the great master. No. When we're talking about masters, let's get this right. The devil is a supreme master. Yeah, because hear how the devil work then. If you don't understand the mastery of the great one, Satan himself, no. You are a man and I'm a man or a woman. You can only be in one place at one time. But not the great master, the devil, you understand? No, the great master, the devil, is operating literally like how I tell you God operate. In all place at all times. In this time and that time, the time that gone before. So you will find out then that no being that cometh out of a woman can live in this dimension without going under the temptation of the supreme tester himself, Satan. But if Satan is not outside, if you cannot find him outside, running around, then that means he could only be in one place, and that is within thy own self. Now, if we are examining the self, would we find the devil within? Well, I would say if he was honest and truthful, you would encounter the terrible and dreadful one himself, the devil, Satan himself. Yeah. So what you would encounter if you was searching within, the inward way, not the outward way, because in the outward way they will put hands on Satan and tell you that Satan is really looking to bring people's soul down to hell and all this kind of thing. You know what I mean? When the great master is not looking to do anything like that really. But the outside people are those who follow outside religious movement, have a great fear of the devil, because they are imagining that this devil now, according to them, there was some disagreement between God and the devil. So the devil has decided that there was I don't know, disagreement. I don't know how to tell the story, and the devil is cast out. So he's now amongst man looking to recruit souls to bring them to hell. That is the explanation of those who are dealing with the devil, who believe in the devil. It's you come up against the same situation now where you have those who are believing in the devil. But I don't really believe in the devil. I know the devil. You see what I mean? Because as a bad boy soldier, you have to know your enemy. You see me? Otherwise, how are you going to fight your enemy or resist? I know when your enemy is going to attack you if you don't know your enemy. So a 9th grade soldier have to know the devil. You see me? So having penetrated into the territory of the devil to talk to the great master himself. Because don't forget, you know, a 9th grade soldier have to deal with God. You know what I mean? Get an understanding. You have to talk to death. Because those are fearsome things that you have to come to terms with. And the devil is one of the fiercest that you have to come to terms with. So you have to face these adversaries then, as it was, are what you presume in your mind are adversaries. You know what I mean? Cause maybe they tell you that the devil is an adversary of yours. But maybe if you get to know the devil yourself, you will realize that the devil is no adversary of yours. In fact, I would say the devil is not interested in human beings. What they want to do or choose, you know what I mean? The devil don't really have no desire as such. You know what I mean? It is just that you have positive and you have negative. So it is the negativity within the being that is the Satan then. So here you have it now. Let's say you have 3 powers within, you know, like how, something like how the Christian would say, Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. If you want to be comfortable, say sun, moon, earth. You know? Positive, negative, neutral. You can look at this tree any way you want to look at it. You know what I mean? But let's say you have these 3 forces within the human being. So standing on that side is positive. Only shine light. Vote. Over here is negative. Only deal with negative. And over here is you. Neutral. Alright. Obviously the devil don't deal with anything good. So there is no way that he is going to suggest anything good. Attack. Why would he? So he will say to you, listen, the man next door has got a portion. Or if some other devil come and tell you, I don't know how you get the information. But the devil will tell you that the position that you are in, you could do a lot better if you go and rob the man next door. But he is only suggesting that to you. He ain't going to lift you up and make you do it, and he ain't going to force you. And he's not interested in whether you do it or not. You know what I mean? This is just a function. I wonder if people understand that. Yeah. That's what creates positive and negative. The negative have no intention or care about what human beings want to do. It doesn't care. It ain't looking for no recruit. You know what I mean? To recruit you to go nowhere. There is no God and devil at war anywhere within the universe. You know what I mean? If there is anyone at war with God within the universe, I can assure you that it is not the devil. It is men who have choose to do negativity. Who is at war against God? But the great master, Satan himself, the one that you are so afraid of. He is not at war, and he is not looking to recruit no souls. He is just simply there to tempt you, to present temptation to the human being. And the devil don't care how great you want to be. You know what I mean? How close you claim you want to be to God. His job while you are breathing, living, is to present temptation either from within your own mind, or those who have picked up negativity and Hispanic will come to you and suggest it to you. You know what I mean? It is entirely up to you to refuse all these negativity and say, okay, I am not doing any negativity. And if you're not doing any negativity, then as an example, the devil is not bothered, you know what I mean? So if you look at the devil as a man, you could literally sit with him and reason and explain to him now why you are not going to do any negativity. And the devil will say, fair enough, you know what I mean, because that is your choice. You know, God never give me any power over you so that I have to force you to do any evil. But I am telling you that I will not stop telling you evil or putting evil thoughts in your mind. What you do with them is entirely up to you. You know what I mean? But I am telling you that I have the power to put negativity in the minds of human beings while human beings are living. No, I am not the only one putting thoughts in your head. God is putting thoughts in your head. So that leaves you with a choice. Now, when you go now and you choose, if I put a negative thought in you and you carry it out, and somebody arrests you, you're trying to blame me. But I never did anything. You did it. You understand? You must take responsibility for your own action. You know, all these church people and all these people attending religion, blaming me for all these wrongs on the earth, claiming that it is the devil who lead people astray, and you know, it was the devil who is at war against God, and all these kind of nonsense are only spoken by those who are caught in the web of outside religion, you know. all those priests and those who follow them, they are in great terror against the devil. But when you are afraid of the devil, you are literally afraid of your own self. Why would a human want to be afraid of themselves? You know what I mean? If the devil is within you, that means the devil is a part of you. How can you be afraid of a part of your own being? It is up to all of us to examine this devil and to see exactly what role the devil is playing in our life. Because truthfully then, the easiest way to explain this then, how the devil can be useful to you, is that if you notice how the electric light, it's a combination of positive and negative string up in the correct manner that produce a light. So we have this current running through us naturally, positive and negative, and we can with it, you know. So if we are, and which we are skillful enough, because God give us the skill. You know what I mean? You might not remember this skill because you're too busy running up on the earth doing greediness and selfishness. But if you recover this skill, you can combine the two forces correctly, positive and negative, and produce a light. Understand? And then with this light you are able to see and understand. You know what I mean? Well, anyway, Mr. Marius, having reasoned about the devil and that line, we are now going to cool off and chip out. Over and out, and see you next time on the House of Fire. Rastafari, live it.